Hello students, today we will start chapter number 3, Reproduction in Animals. Students, the process of reproduction is a process in which the living beings produces the new individuals of their own kind. So that process is called reproduction. This process of reproduction can be carried out by two ways. Number one is asexual reproduction and number two is known as sexual reproduction. Generally, the lower grade of animals reproduce by asexual reproduction and the highly evolved animals reproduce by sexual reproduction. Now, the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction is in asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved, while in sexual reproduction, two parents are involved, one is male and other is female. In asexual reproduction, there is no formation of gametes, while in sexual reproduction, male and female gametes are produced. In asexual reproduction, there is no fertilization because gametes are not produced, so there is no question of fertilization. While in sexual reproduction, male and female gametes fuses to form zygote and this process is called fertilization. In asexual reproduction, the offsprings produced are exact copies of their parent. They are exactly similar to their parent. While in sexual reproduction, the offsprings produced show variations. They are not exact copies of their parents. They show some variations. So these are the differences between asexual and sexual reproduction. Amoeba reproduce by asexual reproduction. Human beings reproduce by sexual reproduction method. In sexual reproduction method, as I told you, that fusion of gametes takes place to form zygote. This zygote then divides and form embryo. An embryo then develops to give rise to a new individual. Now some individuals directly give birth to their young ones like cow, horse, dog and human beings and they are called viviparous animals. While some other individuals they lay eggs like birds, reptiles and some aquatic animals also. They lay eggs. They are called oviparous animals. And there are insects that go through various stages of development before finally becoming an adult insect. It means they form larvae first and then larva develops to form the adults. So their life cycle has various stages in them. So now we will study the reproductive system in human beings. So first in human beings we will study male reproductive system and then we will study female reproductive system. So let us discuss first the male reproductive system. Male reproductive system consists three important parts. Number one is primary reproductive part. Primary reproductive part is a part of reproductive system that produces gamete, male gamete. Male gametes are called sperms. So this is a part that produces sperms. So that is testes. Testes produces sperms. Now this testes, you can see the figure of male reproductive system here. Testes are present extra-abdominal in a sac-like structure that is called scrotum. They are not present inside the abdomen, they are present outside the abdomen in the sac-like structure. Sac means bag and that is known as scrotum. Now the question may come that why testes are extra-abdominal in nature? Testes are extra-abdominal in nature because development of sperms require 2 to 3 degrees less temperature than the normal body temperature. That's why they are present outside the body. Inside they will not get the proper temperature. So they are present outside the body in scrotal sacs. So function of this testes is to produce male gamete that are called sperm, and they also produces a male hormone that is known as testosterone. Now come to the second part that are called accessory parts. Accessory part means helping parts. They do not produce gamete, they help in the process. So helping part is, first part is epididymis. Here you can see this is testes, and over the testes a coiled, highly coiled structure is present. Highly coiled tubular structure is present, and this is called epididymis. So once the sperms are formed in testes, they are transferred to epididymis. They goes into epididymis. Function of epididymis is that they store sperms temporarily until they become motile. Once they become motile, they move in vas deferens. But till they are non-motile, they remain here in the epididymis. After epididymis, the next part is vas deferens. So once the sperms become motile, they move in this tube that is called vas deferens. Vas deferens extends here and goes into the abdomen. So it goes into the abdomen, and here it opens into urethra part. So it connects these parts. So from epididymis, sperm goes into vas deferens part, and from vas deferens they goes into this urethra portion. Urethra is a common passage for sperm and urine, and this urethra, this portion is known as penis. Through this penis, the sperms are released outside from the body. Third part is called accessory glands. There are some glands also which help in the process of reproduction. There are three glands: seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and Cowper's gland. First gland is present here. This is urinary bladder. This is urinary bladder, and this is urethra. Just between these two here, seminal vesicles, you can see here seminal vesicle. Behind this, seminal vesicles are present, and just at the base of urinary bladder, another gland is present that is called prostate gland, and just below the prostate gland, Cowper's gland is present that is also known as bulbourethral gland. So these three glands are present. Function of these three glands is to secrete a fluid. They secrete a liquid, a fluid that makes the sperms more active, and they give nourishment to the sperms also, and they act as a lubricant also. And the sperms, along with the secretion of these three glands, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and Cowper's gland, is known as semen.